Welcome, welcome. Welcome to BitcoinTAF.com. My name is Keith Hampton, and I am a very happy customer and student of Bitcoin Trend and Forecast. I do these calls twice a week to introduce this company to as many people as possible for anybody who wants to learn more about cryptocurrency, investing in the crypto space, trading and analyzing the markets, or getting good forecasts as to what's going to happen in the future. This is a place where you can get a lot of information and a lot of training and guidance that is probably some of the best in the world, in my opinion. So with that, I'm going to share my screen and just show you some of the benefits and some of the things that we have to offer. So starting off, this is the main page of the website, BitcoinTAF.com. And I highly recommend that you go ahead and sign up for free so that you can delve into a lot more information. And you can view some of the products online by simply clicking on that button right here. And that'll take you to this kind of information where if you're looking for information for beginners or you want to know more about analysis and forecasting, or you want to learn how to be a better investor and trader, there's something here for everybody. What I recommend if you want to know specifically where we are in the crypto space and where we're going, I would recommend two products that are available. One is the Bitcoin long-term trade reports for Bitcoin. That one will give you a good analysis as to, with Bitcoin, in finding out where we're at, but more importantly, where we're going. By the way, all the markings that I have on the screen here, these were predicted over 2 years ago, and they've played out perfectly. Marius Landman has a unique algorithm that is quite amazing. It's able to predict the future at a macro level. He first developed this in the oil and gas industry in doing predictions in the drilling and completion sites of the oil and gas industry, where he was able to predict accidents, near misses, and fatalities. And in the first industry, he really didn't know what to make of it because no one's ever been able to do that before. But over time, they realized just how important that data was, and they now utilize that all over the world to reduce the risks in a very risky business. Marius has gone on and utilized this technology to do many other predictions, macro predictions, specifically in the stock market, as well as even predicting elections, and more recently in the cryptocurrency space. And the cryptocurrencies is nothing unusual other than it's a trait of human behavior. So the key here is we want to know where we're at and where we're going because it's very, very important when we are investing in cryptocurrencies, when we're laddering in, and when we are maybe taking profits. Because right now, the market's at this very frothy top. And we've got a lot of people out there in the world that are predicting that the currencies is just going to constantly go up. We've got other people that are saying, no, we're actually going to go sideways here for quite some time. And we've got other people predicting that we're actually going to get a big drop in the market. The question is, which one is correct? Because the answer to that is very, very important. And that's what Marius Landman gives us in our long-term reports. So this is very, very invaluable. And I highly recommend that anybody who's invested in crypto need to seriously look at the forecast that Marius puts on. He also forecasts the altcoins as well. And so if you are more invested in the altcoins, I would really seriously look at the Elliott wave chart patterns and predictions that he does. It's amazing how accurate that is because the algorithms have changed because the industry matures. There's different algorithms today in the alt market versus the Bitcoin market. So Elliott wave chart patterns are very, very important, and I highly recommend that as a good starting point if you're looking for good forecasting and analysis. However, if you want to learn more about how to be a good trader, I would recommend that you take the training and education because that is really the secret. Education, training is the way you're going to succeed as opposed to gambling. because in the courses that they have, for example, the HODL self-paced foundational course, they also offered in a live course as well, depending on, your timing. And you can really get a better understanding as to how to properly trade the markets and how to understand all of the lingo that we utilize in our analysis. And then once you've completed that course, I highly recommend that you take a serious look at the Ultimate Day Trading course. This course is by far, in my opinion, the best in the world. I have taken other trading courses in the past. I probably paid 3 times as much and got 1/3 the information. This course is so complete, it's like getting a PhD at the university level. When you've completed this, you could be your own analyst. You can do your own analysis, whether you're talking the cryptocurrency market, you're talking stock market, Forex, commodities, any market this will apply to. And it's really, really invaluable. I really highly recommend that. And to even get started, there is a new thing out now called the HODL Fire, and they've just introduced a HODL Fire course where you can take in-depth training on utilizing this HODL Fire. And I'm just going to quickly show you what that HODL Fire looks like. So let me just jump to this screen here. So the HODL Fire indicator is an inexpensive bot that you can utilize for trading, and it is very, very accurate. It's not 100%, but no bot is. But it gives you good guidance as to when to enter and exit a market. And I really like using it in longer time frames. For example, I've got it on a chart here with 2-hour candles. And what you're looking at with this indicator you're looking for pivot tops and pivot bottoms, tops and bottoms. And that's momentum changes in the marketplace. So what I like to do is I like to look for pivot bottoms. And then once I see a pivot bottom, for example, see one right here. Well, let's maybe go back to this one. And no, I don't immediately jump in at that point because that could be a false bottom or a false top. That's not confirmed yet. And what I'm looking for is a buy tag because that brings it to a higher degree of probability that it is a proper bottom. And when I see that, that's when I would probably enter the trade right at this buy signal. So I would enter the trade right at this point. And once I do that, I immediately want to protect my capital. I want to reduce the risk. So what I do is I go ahead and set a stop loss to protect my capital. And where I usually set that stop loss is just slightly below that bottom pivot, right about there. And in this case, when I do that, I'm really only risking approximately, in this case, about 5% of my trade. So if I had $100 on this trade, I'm risking $5. That's how I like to utilize this. And then as the coin develops and it starts moving upward, I move my stop loss to break even. So once I do that, now I've got a risk-free trade going on. And then I simply move this up and follow it closely until I see a pivot top. And that's when I usually exit the market. And in this case, had I played that program out, I would have yielded about a 13% profit and risked 5. So that's a ratio of about not quite 3-to-1, which is an excellent run. And of course, in the crypto markets, you can get some big swings. And so lo and behold, just recently, we had another bottom pivot and a buy tag, which we would have entered this market again, right at this point. I would have set the stop loss again, right about here, protecting my capital. And again, I don't know for sure the future, but I always protect it. So I got a 5% stop loss in. And then as that market matures, I simply move it up to break even as it's going forward. And I keep raising it slightly until I'll get a pivot top. And that's when I exit. And in this case, I would have exited approximately here. And lo and behold, I would have earned a lovely, come on here. There we go. This was a huge run, 96% profit. And that played out in a very short period of time. So if I would have entered the market here and exited approximately here, that was about 1.5 days. And I would have locked in that 96% profit. And so that's how I like to utilize this indicator. Now, I like to use a lot of other indicators as well with that. And when you take the Ultimate Trading course, you're going to get a lot of custom indicators that can really help you in your trading. For example, they teach you all the divergences and convergences that are going on. We're looking at historical projection levels. We're looking at support and resistance levels. But we're also looking at custom indicators. And what I'm looking for here is confluence of different indicators. For example, on a 12-hour candles, I've got a nice green dot here at the bottom. I've got this red line crossing over the blue. That's a good indicator that would be a good time to ladder in. What I would like to see it get is above this blue line here, and I would ladder in more. So I would just be buying all the way up. And then these would be support and resistance zones. And again, I could add in the hodl fire indicator as well to add more confluence into decision making. So that just gives you an idea of some of the training and the results that you can get. And it really improves your success. So with that, there's so much here to offer for the student. You can never stop learning. In fact, once you're going through here, you can even take an ultimate DeFi course. A lot of trading today is happening on the decentralized exchanges. And one of our new educators, Corey Gardner, is an expert in training ultimate DeFi decentralized finance course, how to actually trade those markets. And he is doing phenomenally well. And you actually make higher percentage of profits on average in those markets than you do in the centralized exchanges. So there's something here for everybody. And I do hope that you seriously take a look at this and try it out. You would be amazed at the results you get. So with that, I would like to hopefully explain a little bit more what's happening in the marketplace here. And next time I see you, maybe you've already signed up and we can see you on the journey on the other side. Have a great day, folks. Bye for now.